We've all experienced the shift. One moment you hold someone in high regard, the next a switch flips. That admiration vanishes, leaving behind a cold sense of disdain and a sudden sharp annoyance at everything they do. While it often feels like respect simply fades away through natural distance or the passage of time, the reality is far more abrupt. This diagram represents how our brains evaluate social currency. We plot people along two main axes: warmth, which tells us if we can trust them, and competence, which tells us if we should respect their strength. This sudden loss of respect is the violent snapping of a neurobiological tripwire, a defense mechanism reacting to social crimes you may have been tracking for months without realizing it. Respect rarely dies in a single moment of massive betrayal. It is more often destroyed by integrity deficits, the slow accumulation of poor communication, and small deceptions that build invisible tension. Like a snowball effect, your brain tracks minor infractions as they gather weight. This manifests through chronic interruption, signaling your thoughts don't matter, and performative empathy, where kindness is merely transactional. Eventually, they stop taking accountability entirely, shifting blame to protect their ego. These behaviors create a toxic power imbalance known as the erasure of experience. By dismissing your voice and prioritizing their own comfort, they are effectively treating your perspective as secondary or non-existent. These repeated actions act as systemic attacks on your equality and trust, loading the neurobiological tripwire until the tension becomes unsustainable. At a certain point, the gap between who they claim to be and how they actually behave becomes too wide for the brain to bridge. This is the moment of critical mass, the snap. Here are the brain's threat detection systems in action. At the snap, the anterior insula and amygdala pulse with intensity, signaling an act of alarm. This is betrayal aversion. Your nervous system shifts, reclassifying this peer as a literal threat to your well-being. This neurological event impairs your executive control. Once the alarm is triggered, it becomes impossible to unsee the danger they pose to your emotional safety. The social symptom of this biological state is moral disgust. It's a distinct feeling of contamination, making you want to distance yourself from them as if they were physically toxic. Your brain is literally rewiring itself, forcing you to pull away to protect your reputation and your sanity. Once the tripwire snaps, you enter the devaluation stage. The relationship's perceived value drops to zero, and every future interaction feels purely transactional. You can hear this stage in the language people use. Phrases like, "it's fine," or "do whatever you want," signal that it is no longer worth the effort to engage. They are the linguistic markers of total disengagement. This leads to an inevitable question. Is there any way back? Recovery is incredibly rare because standard apologies often backfire. Deflections like, "I'm sorry you feel that way," only trigger heightened disgust as they prioritize the betrayer's ego over the damage they've caused. True reconstruction requires a radical suspension of the ego. The betrayer must be willing to drop all defenses to see the situation from your perspective, followed by years of absolute, unwavering consistency. Ultimately, this sudden loss of respect is your biology fiercely protecting your boundaries. It is the moment your brain finally accepts the reality of who someone actually is.